I don't know why the village burned down.
I was following a lead that this village was hiding some valuable and rare clothing dyes. This was the kind of intel that if you weren't a bit nuts, you'd walk away from. Some might say I was a bit nuts, and I'd say I was 50 cents short of $1. I might be hard to understand. Quite frankly, most people don't. But I'm the best at what I do. They say curiosity killed the cat, but I had no intention of getting skinned tonight. This village wasn't what it appeared to be, or as the villager I shook down earlier that day put it, "Aw." I didn't know what I was looking at, but it looked interesting. It crackled and gave off a pulsing low heat. If there's one thing I know, interesting to one person is lethal to another. That was enough reason for me to pocket it. My plans changed rapidly, as they tend to in this kind of work. I didn't know what Chick was doing here, but I decided to take a gander at his personal project, and what I found wasn't at all what I expected. Expectations. That's a word I need to cut from my vocabulary.
Boy, is it hard to keep talking like this.
What I saw was delicate and beautiful. Bouquet of flowers. The precise materials for clothing dyes. I figured I'd swap the orbs out. Clothing dye might catch a dame's eye. I didn't need these fiery orbs, and they didn't need me. I was being watched, so I bolted. Made it to the outskirts of the village when the smell of smoke caught my attention. I looked back. The whole thing was burning. Smoke from this world and a fire that danced with malevolent joy. My best guess is our perp started this whole thing via those orbs. What I'm certain of, however, is I didn't do it. Someone is trying to pin this on me, and I ain't no donkey.
Look, I don't know why the village burned down. There was work to be done. Compassion may be in short supply, but while blood pumps in this heart, I shall lay siege to the darkness. Before the haunting black specter of death reclaims us all, I will not falter. Flowers are born from the ground we walk on, but unlike other creatures, do not wreak havoc upon the world around them. Instead, they live in harmony, a quality I strongly admire. Among a few others, exhibited strongly in Iron Golems. I thought a reward, most unusual, was in order. The device was ready. I took a deep breath, excitement teetering on the edge of my wings. Unorthodox measures to yield extraordinary results. I was prepared to deliver what most certainly would have been a well-received gift, but instead, there was a horrible explosion. I was filled with panic and fled. I noticed, in my cowardly retreat, BAMBAM perched atop a hill adjacent to the one I had descended mere moments ago. BAMBAM, stripped of their innocence in moments, now tumbling towards the raging inferno. Before I could act, none other than Porkchop appeared. He dashed with incomprehensible speed and whisked BAMBAM away.
Look, I don't know why the village burned down! Stan is a cruel man. He takes from the land but offers Chick and I nothing in return. Despite my small stature, honor and valor are not in short supply. I took this into great consideration with my plan. I was to borrow some resources from the nearby village and make a very unique object, something I would happily share with the villagers once completed. You know what blaze powder is? Well, it is an extremely rare and coveted resource. I had managed to discover some while traveling in the Nether. I wrested from the smoldering hands of a blaze itself. With the blaze powder and coal I borrowed from the villager, I was prepared to craft a fire charge, an object of great and terrible power. From the moment I made it, however, I knew it should never see the light of day. If Stan was to get his greedy hands upon it, who knows what destruction it might rain? That's when I heard footsteps. Even if my intentions were good, on my honor, I could not be found guilty of theft. I hid the charge and climbed through the window. Once they had left, I checked the house, but my fire charges were gone. I peered through the window to see who had taken them, and it was none other than the villain himself, Stan! I was going to need to find a way to get those charges back from Stan. But before I could even formulate a plan, I could smell the smoke. I looked back, and to my horror, the village was ablaze! That's when I saw him! I don't know what devious plot Chick was formulating. My ambitions may have exceeded the grasp of crafting those fire charges, but I would not see BAMBAM come to harm! I wouldn't call myself a hero, but if that's what the people are saying, I won't stop them. What is most important here is that I didn't do it. Have you tried talking to Stan or Chick? Maybe they know something. You can't just keep me here for no reason. It's against, I don't know, Minecraft laws. Wait, can you even talk? Oh no, it was Chick, it was Stan. I'll help you catch them.
Calm down, Porkchop.
Yeah, it's just us.
But I'm not doing my interrogation.
Yeah, that isn't a cop, that's just a stupid horse.
Wait, so he can't talk?
Nope, Chick and I had the same questions earlier, but we were holding out to see if you'd confess.
You know I didn't burn down the village. You stole the fire charges. Stan, you're the guilty one.
Guilty? They were your creation. It's literally your fire. Besides, Chick is the one who blasted them into the village.
Blasted them into the village? I was blasting flowers at my friend. Are you insane? If the fire charges were in the dispenser, that's your fault, Stan.
Oh, it's BAMBAM, my good friend. Ah, guys, we can't argue like this in front of BAMBAM.
Well, if there weren't any witnesses, I guess none of us are guilty.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, does it burn down the village?
What?
I don't know. I'm trying to be clever.
Well, stop it.